Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing the best platforms for traffic in 2025. One of you lovely viewers have kindly requested this. Thanks for the support, everyone who's showing the support. I want the channel to keep growing so it can help more reviews out there. So the best platforms for traffic in 2025, I'm going to be discussing them from worst to best. What I do have to say for this video is each platform, right, everyone in OFM does everything different. Threads might be the best platform for individuals out there watching this video. Agencies that are doing 2-3 million off black hat methods, they might be killing it just on Reddit, just from using Cupid bot alone. So this is just my preference, and I use organic strategies. And this is how my agency runs. So it's not for, oh my God, these platforms are absolutely terrible, but this is my personal opinion from my experience, what actually works best and what is the most profitable. Because a lot of people use these platforms, but actually they've got that many VAs and they've got that much going on within it, and then the turnover isn't that great. So they're actually losing money or making little to no profit. So this is the A to Z, the worst to the best of platforms that I am currently using, right? So the worst one I personally think is dating apps. So I did use this about 2-3 years ago and it was absolutely fantastic. We were printing money like no one's business. But then Tinder decided to change the amount of people you could match. They started changing their AI system or their tracking system, whatever they were using, and it was actually banning all the accounts. So each time we'd send a load of VAs out there to create accounts. Basically they had jailbroke phones, they're all in an office, they were literally creating loads of accounts, then softwares come out that stop that happening. It's very, very technical, and it is more for experienced agencies. I'm sure there are agencies out there now that are using dating apps and absolutely crushing it, but when you're coming into it, you need a lot of money to start up with the dating app scene if you are bringing traffic in this way. And the other thing is, if Tinder change one little thing overnight, it can mess the whole thing up, and it's trial and error for maybe a week, few weeks, few months to even try and become profitable again. I know some people do just make one dating app page for the model and run it. That's okay, but you're never going to earn big money. You're never going to earn any money really from that, maybe a few $100 at best. So there's no point in doing that. I've wrote here the account. The ban rate is really high. It's costly, tech heavy. Can bring in a lot of subs, but it can also go instantly. You have to accept this risk if you are doing black hat methods or you're doing any methods where it's just mass amounts just firing away. I know a lot of people talk of grey hat now. That is a little bit better, but still the same. It can be really affected by the platforms changing. What they do best is keeping us away from abusing the system. So the next one is escort sites. I don't particularly like these. I have used them. If a new model comes on, I just sign them up to the escort sites. You can get a few subs come through the door. It's good for a little extra traffic at the start, you know, keep the model motivated, get them onto there. Always make sure the model is okay with it though, because it can be a bit funny for some models, especially if there's dirty old men that go on there and then they see your model on there, they're gonna be like, what the hell? Maybe if someone from a personal life, like, are you really doing this? When in reality, it's just for traffic to the OF. You have to submit an ID to a lot of them, and this can really limit the account. So if there's any sites that you find where you don't, you can make loads of different accounts and actually funnel them all over to your OF by text message if you put it in the description, the OF username, however you want to do it. But men, they're really on there because they want to sleep with a person, not to come on OF and spend money. So, you know, it's really rare that they do come over to the OF and actually spend money. When the reality is they can just pay £50 and sleep with a girl. That's why they're on the website. So escort sites, not really the one, if I'm honest. Yeah, they're more of the low standard ones. The next one is Threads, right? So going back a year when Threads was popping off, it was really, really good to use. And it was very profitable. But you have to understand, right, firstly, what sort of creators do well on this platform, right? So you can't have any girls with dirty backgrounds, horrible image quality going on. You need high image quality. And to be honest, young girls do amazing on this platform. If you've got a girl that's 18, 19, she's got a really young looking face, then they seem to go more viral than that. There used to be a thing where you used to have wet sheets and you used to upload that and then maybe another photo of a young girl's face if your model is young. And they would bang off. But the problem is now, it's become more and more saturated and people are creating hundreds and hundreds of accounts and just absolutely smashing the platform as there's no real restrictions on there. Yeah, they've improved the ban rate of accounts being created, but if you know your way around that, you can create mass amounts of accounts. That's when it can work really well. But it's not based really, you need good content quality as a standard, but it's not really based on the better quality content, the more it's going to slap. It's more of the case of, do you hit a lucky account? So we were creating like 50 accounts and hitting like 5 to 10 lucky accounts that would pop off and bring subs in, but it's getting harder and harder as time goes on. And it only really works for the specific creators that do work well on that platform. You can do your research, look into the platform, look at who does well. For me, it's always been young girls that have always popped off on there. And it is 100% agency dependent, and you can reuse photos, so that is a good thing if it does start popping off for you. But I've noticed by the time you've got 5 to 6 VAs creating the accounts, then you've got people uploading to 50 accounts or whatever to find what one works. it is a high cost really, between like $150 to $200 a week, which is absolutely nothing if you get the right man come through the door. But if you're still trying to learn the platform, you don't understand it, you don't know what creators pop off on there, you're constantly getting bans. This is where the cost can come up, because you're constantly getting bans. People are working longer hours. Like, the reality of it, it's quite difficult to become profitable, but there is agencies out there that are smashing it, and it is very profitable for them. So just do your research, understand the platform, look into it. For us, we don't really like it because it's always turned out to be like not that profitable, if I'm honest to you. And the creators I do have, we've got some young ones, but you know, the ones that aren't, we just don't touch this platform. The next one is X. So X, they've tightened up their platform recently, and retweet groups have become a bit of a difficult thing. Accounts are getting banned left, right and centre. Even when creating accounts, they can get restrictions and bans. They've really tightened up on how things are. So it's really good long term. So if you do sign a model and she's got a pre-made X account and she's got a lot of followers, if you're using that organically, it can work really well. Models that we've found to work really well on X are big curvy girls, big boobs, huge bum. They specifically seem to work really well on X, and X is a good thing because it is full of older men who have got a little bit of money, and you can keep scaling the account, so you can make 2 accounts, 3 accounts, 4 accounts. You can reuse content, so you can spread the content all across all of the accounts. Do your research on how to market on X. You can do some paid promo. Paid promo does do well if you go to the right ones. If you want to find that, just go to Sophie Rain's account. Look at all the people that she's been tagged in, all the retweets and stuff like that. And then you go down there and you can literally see who she's paid for paid shout outs off. So that works really well. The limiting factor with X is, yeah, potentially you can get to 10, 20K, but you're not going to be hitting mass numbers like 100K months with solely X, because it's just not that sort of platform. Not that many people use it compared to Instagram. It's not really that scalable in terms of hitting them high numbers. You can create several accounts and actually do well on X. But if you have got a new model and you're just opening an X account, just please be patient, because it does take a long time. It's a bit like Instagram. It takes a while to start popping up, but when it does, it's decent. So that's my view on X. It's not one of the favoured platforms. The creator does come in to my agency and she's got an X account. We'll do the organic approach, we'll do the paid promo approach, retweet groups, you know, you name it, we'll do it within X, but there is limiting factors and it's not our go-to really. The next one, I speak highly of this on my channel, TikTok. First of all, one benefit of TikTok, it helps the IG grow. It's one of the only platforms where you can upload and go absolutely mega viral within a day. It brings traffic itself. What we have found though, it works best for those who've got a personal brand. If you're just doing the generic OF videos, it doesn't really work for you. It's for more people with like specific niches. I don't know if you'd like to, there's a thing if it's niche and personal brand, so they come interlinked at times. Basically, I just class the niche as, you know, your model, and if she's got big boobs, if she's young, etc. But with personal brand, it's more their interests, what they're into. So let me give you an example. If it was a biker girl, she was doing bike-related content, then it would work absolutely perfect because she's building her personal brand. She's building everything around biking, what she's into. And this works really well. And the videos have to be PG, so we don't upload the same videos of what goes on Instagram onto TikTok, because it does have to be PG. So TikTok is a great platform. The actual sub rate per click isn't that good anymore. Basically having to funnel people over to IG, then they have to follow, and then they have to sub from there. So it's not as successful as it was before. That's all I'm going to say. But TikTok can work really great if you're hitting TikTok lives and you are uploading videos and they are going viral. So with TikTok live, it is hit and miss. It doesn't always pop off, but when it does work well. So in a 7-day period, so we normally have a 4-day warm-up process. After the 4 days, the accounts, they start doing well. So you might get 1,000 to 2,000 total viewers in an hour stream. And then you'll have the odd one, which we found is probably two times a week, going live like maybe 5 to 6 times a week. 2 of them will get like 20K viewers, and you'll pop off. You'll get literally 30, 40, 50 subs, depending if you're doing paid or free. We have had a model who had a free page get 120 subs within an hour. Like, it was crazy. She got like 50,000 viewers within an hour. So they're the numbers you've got to be hitting for it to work well. A downfall of it is model dependent, but it's not to say if you've got a hard working model, it works so well. So I'll put that as number 3 on the list for the best platforms. The next one now is Reddit. So Reddit, it was really poor because the ban rate was really high, which seems to have leveled off now. So if you do know the correct strategy of how to warm the accounts up, you're using the right proxy, you're not uploading too many times, like I say, it's all about the warm up. And then you know how to progress the account over time. You know what works. So for Reddit, young creators work really well. Gothic works really well. Girls who's specifically really big boobs and look young will absolutely smash it. We don't touch Reddit on certain creators. So if it's an older creator who's like flat chested, not got a bum or anything like that. We won't really touch it. It's only good for models in specific niches, right? It can have a high ban rate if they start pushing, the ban waves out there. But what we've found, if you do stick to just one organic account, we're having no issues with this. There's no issues at all. And if you do want to scale it and you do the correct techniques, then you can scale it very, very easily. And it is another platform where you can get traffic instantly. But you do have to go into the specifics and actually use great marketing and actually focus on the detail of the marketing. If you do want to learn more about Reddit and how to market on there, just drop me a message or leave the IG and the Telegram down below. And it is agency dependent. And it's just a great platform overall, Reddit. It's literally number 2 on the list. You can scale the model to 30, 40K a month just using Reddit. And that's even with one organic account if you make it pop off and you really focus on the content quality. Number 1 is the daddy. It's IG. This is the best platform. Like if you want to hit the top 0.5%, there is only probably about 5% of all creators that aren't touching IG that are in like top 1%. And I'm talking 5% of the top 1% are only there. Maybe they're crushing it on Reddit and X or something like that. But most people, I live by a rule, if you can't make it on IG, you're going to struggle everywhere else. It's the best platform. It's got the most users. Your videos can keep going viral 2 months, 3 months later. So you're reaping the rewards of a video that is going super viral from 3 months ago, 4 months ago. And it's just constant traffic. You don't need loads of members of staff running it. You literally need someone to schedule the post and an editor. It's super simple to use. And if you really, really focus on it and then improve content quality, stick to your verticals, double down on what works, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars just from Instagram. And honestly, all the models in the top 1% are crushing it on Instagram. I won't take a model on if she doesn't want to be marketed on Instagram, because for me, it's the most profitable. It just doesn't make sense if we don't do IG. It's literally the daddy of all platforms. I hope this video was helpful. I'm going to cut it off here. I've rambled on a bit. But if you do have any video suggestions, please drop them in the comments. If you are struggling with anything, please drop me a message and I will always help you out. Take care.